All right, so today I'm hoping we will have time today. Where are you? Here we are. Today we're eventually going to get to paint this scene, which is another one from the book that we did last week. Um, Jonathan and Paula did this last year, but it's been about a year. It's been a
Mm.
while. But one of the things that we have to talk about and you have to learn is how to draw a scene like this before we start to paint it. So we're going to go back to one vanishing point. We're going to spend a little bit of time, and I don't know if you can see the similarity between what's happening here and what's happening here. Can you?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about what's happening. Um, because it's really, really helpful in learning how to draw. So when you're drawing, if you were a kid and you learned how to draw a road like this, I know I talk about this a lot, right? You know that the road is not actually smaller here and bigger here. It's the same size. But when we put it on a two-dimensional surface and try to want to make it look 3D, uh, it does get smaller as it moves farther away. We also know that the road is flat on the ground. It doesn't rise up, but on a flat surface, it has to rise up as things move away from us. Well, what's actually happening here? This road is going to something we call the vanishing point. And I'm about to teach you, and the vanishing point is an amazing perspective trick that will help you get everything in the right places without too much work. Okay. The vanishing point is the point on the horizon where everything that's on the ground and heading towards the horizon, this is where these two lines meet together. And the really cool thing is, if things, let's take a look at this. If you're trying to figure out how big or small, it's not just the road, everything that's on the road is also going to go to the same vanishing point. See that? This
Mhm.
fence is going to go to the same vanishing point. The angle of the telephone poles is going to go to the same vanishing point. If you're drawing a tree line that's going away from you, it's going to go to the same vanishing point. So when you're trying to figure out, and as you notice, if you're trying to figure out like kind of where to start and stop things to make them look natural, you're going to start by drawing all the lines to the single vanishing point to help you figure out what all these angles are. Now, I used to measure them all myself because none of these angles are the same because they all start at different places, right? This starts here. That means this angle is different than here. That angle. The only thing you know is that depending on where it starts, it all stops here at the vanishing point. Does that make sense?
Mm.
So when you're sketching, I'm going to have you sketch this out really quick. You can do this big or you can do this small. You know, might as well do it. Oh, sorry. Here, there we go. Give yourself a kind of square
Ooh.
on your paper. How was it this week, Jonathan? Crazy or okay?
It was okay, but I've been dealing with dog stuff.
Oh no. Oh no, I'm sorry. We'll ask about that more in a minute. I'll get you guys started and I want to hear more about it. So the first thing we're going to do here is define the horizon line, which is there is two horizon lines here actually. There's where the ground right here meets the sky, right? That's the eye level horizon. Okay. But you'll notice there's a little mountain range behind it. The place where the sky meets the mountain range is the natural horizon. But we're always going to be dealing with the eye level horizon when we're finding the vanishing point. So your eye level is going to be less than halfway. Does anybody remember why? Why do we not put this eye level horizon exactly at the halfway point? We're going to put it a little below, or we might put it a little above. Why don't we put it right at the halfway point?
Because it looks bad.
It's static. Yeah. Yeah, it looks bad, really. I mean, that's the real answer. It looks bad. But really, it's too static, it's too flat, a composition. So one of the things to know about your own paintings is when you're drawing or painting a landscape or a cityscape, you never have your eye level horizon exactly at halfway. It'll look weird. So you start with this, and then right in the center here is so this is your eye level horizon. And this is your vanishing point right here. And that means it's pretty easy to draw your road. You just have to go to where the starting point of this line on this side is. And that's a little bit in. It's definitely not at the corner here. Some people don't pay attention and they draw a line straight from here to there. That's not actually what's happening. What's actually happening, if you look, is that these are the starting points of your road on either side. They're a little bit in. And then you can just use a straight edge to draw. One that way and the other this way. As long as they both go to the vanishing point, you know it's going to be correct. Do you guys want to do that first, or should I go on a little bit? I just want to talk about the middle of the road, and then I'll let you do it. You'll notice, so the middle of the road, this like kind of middle line here, you'll notice that as these lines go up, they get skinnier and they get closer together, right? So even though you're still going straight up to the vanishing point, this is wider and there's more space between each one, but it gets smaller pretty darn quickly until you almost can't tell until you get up to the vanishing point, but you almost can't tell any spaces between them. Less and less space. So that's a beginning. When you've got that, send it over. If this won't take too long, I have a feeling. Something we call single vanishing point perspective, right? Which means that everything is heading towards this vanishing point, so everything meets that vanishing point. Sometimes, and you guys did this last year, I don't know if I'm going to make you do this year. Paula, scoot this one in a little bit to the right. Do you see how that makes your road look? And a little bit on this side too. Your road's a little bit wider than it should be.
Okay.
You're going to need to make room for your fence and for this line, and you need that room.
Okay.
One of the things that you're going to find that I'm pushing you guys to do a little bit more than I used to is to really be accurate about your assessment of how far away. Actually, Paula, if you look at this, you'll see these are not equal. This one is much farther in.
Mhm.
This one is less farther in, if you look at it. Right?
Okay.
So there's a tendency to want to, people kind of struggle with assessing these distances, particularly if I'm making this smaller, so it's a little bit trickier. And in fact, I think I'll bring mine in just a touch too. Yeah. So don't skip over that part. A millimeter makes a big deal of difference here. Oops. I missed my vanishing point. Good, Christina. Although I think these are a little bit too equal. You might want to bring this one a titch to the left to reflect. Let me look. Hold on. I'm going to check. Yeah, they're too equal.
Oh, I see.
You
I
see?
see. I see. Yes.
Yeah. This one really is farther. I'm adjusting mine a little bit too. If it makes you guys feel a little bit better, I'm adjusting mine a little bit too. That's also a thing, this kind of symmetry that our left brain is desperately trying to create for us, is really not something that creates a good, exciting composition. So having little areas where this is slightly narrower and this is slightly wider, it's good. It's a good thing. For those of you who are ready to, well, anyway, I'll wait. I'll wait until I see everyone's. Let me know when you guys are ready to go on, and I will take you to the next step.
I just sent you my second one that I
Oh,
fixed.
okay, let's see. Good, excellent, perfect. Okay, it's different, right? Kind of
Yeah,
different.
it's different.
Yeah, okay. So, the second thing we're going to try to do is put this fence, which even though it's kind of standing up, right? The road's flat on the ground, this is standing up. The horizontal lines that are heading away from us are also going to go to the same vanishing point. So once again, we're going to identify, right? I'm going to come up. I'm going to say it's like here. There's a significant amount of difference between here and here. Here and here are my lines. And then once again, each of these lines goes to the same vanishing point. So actually, once you kind of get the gist of the vanishing point, it becomes very easy. So this one's a little bit there. Struggling to draw this bottom line. My ruler is not very good. I should probably use like a book or something for a straight edge. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's better. And you. There's bumps on my ruler because there's paint on my ruler, so it's not exactly a straight edge, I think. Okay. And then one of the things to know about in terms of rules, when it comes to using vanishing point, your horizontal lines, right? The fence lines, which are kind of running at the same sort of direction as the road lines, they're all gonna get smaller. These fence posts are gonna be smaller, but they're not gonna bend. They're gonna go straight up and down. They are absolutely vertical. They don't go like this. They don't go like this. They are straight lines that go absolutely up and down, straight up and down. That is almost always true. So your fence posts, right? No, I didn't make mine go far enough. Hang on. It was not in the game today. Here, this will be the first fence post, and it'll be the biggest one. This one is narrower. This one is narrower. And so on and so on and so on until they get right close together. See that? And these are straight up and down. Oh, let's see. Jonathan looks good. Christina looks good. Keep on going. Get your fences in. I found when I learned this that I felt so much better about drawing, right? Trying to create realistic drawings. I'm like, oh, that's the secret. No one knows this. You can't, your mind can't, I mean, somebody's mind had to figure it out, right? Sometime, a long time ago, but really, you have to be taught this. This is not something that seems practical. I remember teaching this to a student who was like, who kept drawing her lines. Here, I'll draw them off on the edge like this. So let's say they're right. Here's your fence. Like that. And she kept drawing lines straight, but she'd draw them like this. And I kept saying, no, 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 draw them straight. And she drew them straight. And I'm like, no, straight up and down. And she's like, I am drawing them straight up and down. They're all leading. And finally, I realized that she did not understand that when I said straight up and down, I meant literally, no, straight up and down. They don't lean. That was really hard for her. And she was a really smart person. But this is the thing about visual spatial reality. It's very different than our verbal conceptual idea of things, our left brain. So your left brain wants to tell you this is straight, but it is not straight. This is a fence that has been blown down by the wind. So what's going on with Gershwin?
No, it's Fosse this time.
Oh no, what's going on with Fosse?
She jumped again.
Oh, is she okay?
She fractured her hip.
Oh no.
So she just has to be still for like 8 weeks.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Same place on those stairs?
No, she jumped inside the house this time from the second floor.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
How did she get so lucky? Oh, maybe it was lower. Maybe she didn't have time to turn around and
Who
she
knows?
fell from a much higher height the last time.
No, it's the same, about the same.
Was it? Oh
Yeah.
God, I'm so sorry. Ugh. Is she all drugged up?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jesus, animals. Is anybody else finding this kind of Helpful?
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
easier than trying to guess what all these angles are, or assuming that these angles are going to be the same, which they are not. Right? None of these angles are the same. None of them are the same because you're standing at one location looking straight at this. This is your eye level. And this is kind of below your eye level and to the right. And this is at a, so that means the angle of everything that you're looking at changes each time you move up or down or across. When you think you've got it, send it over. It's interesting. I think if you measure like the distance between here and here, you will see that it's the same. Oh, yeah. No. Let's see. Looks great, Paula. Excellent.
Thanks.
Yeah. I know you've done this before. Does this, is it boring to go over it again, or is it easier to go over it again? Do you think it's emphasizing the point a little bit more?
Yes, definitely. It's a refresher. It's great.
I almost feel like when you learn this the first time, yeah, Jonathan, that looks great. I almost feel like when you learn it the first time that you can't even take it all in,
Mhm.
right? It's like it's after you've had to draw things and paint things for a year that you come back and go, oh, that's why this is so helpful. I don't know, Paula. I think you and Christina could get together with your little mini watercolor set paintings and do a little watercolor set. And Jonathan always has a project. You guys always have projects that you're working on. You guys should think about getting together and painting together. It's actually not bad at all.
That's true. I'm taking another art class like at a community college, and so I actually have homework that I need to do. And so after this, I actually have homework for that class I have to do. So I could work on the homework.
You could. I mean, it's just, it's just kind of social time, right? You're sort of being social. I understand also that it might feel weird. We're just waiting for you, Christina. Then we'll pop on to the next thing.
I actually found this harder this time because we did this drawing in the drawing one class, and
Yes.
I think my brain is like overthinking it now more than the first time. I was like,
So what's hard for you? What's hard?
I think the spacing between the poles is
Yeah, you're overthinking it. Yeah,
I,
don't overthink it too
I
much.
think I'm
Yep.
overthinking it a bit too much.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you could say that the space between here, so we can't see the pole here, right? But if you want to find the space between here and here is about half the distance between here and here. If you
Mhm.
want to be really regular about it, right? You could say that you could cut this distance in half each time.
Mhm.
You can do that. I was just going to test if that was true here. Let's see. One. Oh yeah, you could totally do that. If you want to get tricky with it, just half this distance between here and here each time. Make the distance half. Is that right? Yeah, between here and here. That's usually what happens when you have like regularly spaced things, right? They can space by half. Now, if you've got a tree line, that may or may not be true. Okay, are you ready? Yep. Okay, I'm gonna move us forward, Christina. I'm gonna let you not worry too much about that. We've got the, so this goes down low, just to point this out. This line kind of ends lower than this line, so they shouldn't be lined up together. This should be closer, the bottom of this, and I drew this line in. It wasn't here, I actually drew it in, right? Because this line's gonna help us place things, then we erase it. So this line is here, and then look at that. These two lines are up here. So everything that we've done so far has been drawing up to the vanishing point. But if things rise above the eye level horizon, they also go down towards the vanishing point. They still go down towards the same vanishing point. So here are your three dots. They're like down here and then up here. One kind of close to here, one not too far. And then once again, you're going to sketch these out. I'm not using this. It's drive me crazy. I'm going to use a piece of, I'm going to use a drawing. I'm going to use a painting, a watercolor painting. Easier to draw a straight line. Even though I'm going to erase this line later, I'll keep the top lines in because they're telephone pole lines. Everything goes to that same vanishing point. Isn't that awesome? Doesn't that make life like a million times easier?
Definitely.
It makes it so then trying to figure out what this angle is, just assess each one and measure it, which is insane, which is what I used to do. And then once again, you're going to draw these lines straight up and down. These are still vertical. So this goes here. All right, and it's a little bit thicker. And these also, these horizontal lines actually go straight across. They don't bend. They literally, so it's just like a cross. Straight line this way, straight line horizontal, straight line vertical. And then I'm just kind of guessing where this guy goes. All right, straight line here, thinner. Rises up a little higher. And then straight line across. And then now I can measure half the distance between here and here and mark that, right? I can find kind of half the distance. Let's see, it's probably about here. If you want to. Yeah, I guess a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, isn't it, Christina? Much knowledge is a danger.
Yeah, I thought I was just kind of eyeballing it before and it felt like more natural. And now I'm like I'm like thinking about it too hard. I'm like,
You're not overthinking it. You are thinking just enough. You're trying to create a whole new logic system, right? So that's what happens. And actually, as we repeat these lessons, that's also something that happens. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't, I think I want this to go a little far. As I'm doing that measurement, it doesn't quite look right to me. So I'm actually gonna put it just a little farther. There we go. That looks better to me. What ends up happening is that we kind of combine these rules with a more heightened sense of how much space things really take up, rather than what we think they take up. That makes sense. And there comes a point, by the way, when these things come right on top of each other. They just start, you can't really, there we go. Yeah, what you're doing is you're trying to create a new rule system. And it's interesting because until you know enough about the whole system, you don't actually know what the rules are. Here's a very great example. Here, hold on. I'm gonna go get a handout to show you.
Interesting.
Oh, that's amazing. Come on, gotta be. All right. Come on. All right. I'll get there. Hang on. Oh, here we go. Can't find the one paper I'm looking for. I'll get there. Yeah. Trying to get it. Oh, interesting. Ah, I found it. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but I often hand this out at my very first figure drawing class. Whenever I teach people figure drawing at the same time, it's a little thing that shows that we use the head to measure how tall or short somebody is. And and I love this. And then it also shows that like the head can be used to measure distance between middle of the face to the shoulder, arms, other things like that. So I had a student, I'm going to prop this up, who was drawing from a live figure model. Hold on. Spotlight. That's spotlight. Was drawing from a live figure. Oops, sorry. Here, let me spotlight. Yes. Here we are. Add spotlight. He was drawing from a live figure, and I had a model that was bent over like this. And when he drew the figure, it was a woman, she was bent over like this. And when he drew the figure, she looked so weird. I mean, she was like really long on the inside and on the other side. And this is a guy who's like a doctor and a psychologist and also an acupuncturist, really smart guy. I'm like, Bob, what are you doing? And he said, well, I'm trying to fit 4 heads on the top and 4 heads on the bottom. And I went, that's not the rule. That's not the rule. The rule is if you use the head to measure how many heads she is down, and if she's bent over, she's going to be about 4. So your brain is trying to like make these correlations and figure things out, and it can't do it. It's like hard. It's like the logic system isn't really there.
You can't rationalize it or do it mathematically.
Your left brain is trying to make sense of what's happening, and it's trying to make rules, and the rules make no sense. They're not logical because you don't know enough. So what you're doing, Christine, is kind of building in that world,
Yeah.
and that's what it is, right? You're trying to build up a set of rules that makes sense, and you still don't have enough information, so you're pushing yourself. It's actually is good that it's harder this time in a way, because you're thinking about it more and thinking about the other aspects of it, and what do you have to think about and what do you not have to think about, and yeah, it's interesting. When you've done it the 20th time. And then, of course, I think these last things are pretty easy to add in. There's this little mountain range. And notice that the clouds also have two sides. They've got the bottoms, which are darker, and then the tops, which are fluffier. And so, and this one over here is bigger, and it's really, you see mostly the bottom. I really like this because it really kind of describes in fairly easy terms for people to see how perspective works. Everything has sides. Some things are bigger, some things are smaller. We're going to move to watercolor paper and we're going to draw this other scene. We'll start in black and white. But we'll spend just a little time doing this. Yeah, my thought is we may only get this done. I don't know. You guys are fast. We'll see how it goes. I'll be right back.
Okay. I think I got it now.
Send it over.
My brain figured it out.
It's a lot of going forward and coming back. Yeah, there you go. Well, did you look at what the picture looks like? These are actually right on top of each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, give you a couple down here that are kind of right on top of each other at the very back. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Add your natural horizon, ask your clouds with the two sides, the bottom and the top, bottom, top, and then we'll move on. I've got my watercolor on the side here. Oops, sorry.
Do you want us to send this over?
Yes, please do, when you're done. Let's take a look. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Looks good to me, Jonathan. Although your can you see that your crosses here are kind of hanging, like these are supposed to be the telephone wires,
Uh-huh.
and your cross is kind of down here.
Oh, okay.
Want to fix those?
Yeah.
It's okay. Your dog just fell down and broke her little
Oh,
hip.
God.
I think you're totally allowed to be a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's
And then
totally-
we erase this, right? This bottom line. Nice, you guys. Nice. Really nice, you guys. Good job. Good job. Good job. These look great. Interesting to me that we're doing, even in little drawing assignments like this, isn't it interesting how different they all turn out?
Yeah.
Even when you're following the same rules and drawing the same thing. Yeah, Paula, that looks great. These look great. You guys, these all look great. Very
Everyone has
good.
their own style, right?
Yes, little tiny differences make a big difference. The way you use the pencil makes a big difference. It's fascinating to me. All right. We're gonna pull this out. Um, I have this painting. We're gonna start with the drawing. Pencil drawing. I've got a piece of paper that's a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna have to keep that in mind as I go forward here. Let's see. My horizon line is here. And my road, actually interesting, my road kind of stops before the horizon line. But if it did go, it would go to there. See that little triangle that I'm drawing? You can draw your road all the way to there if you want to. You don't have to. There's a little fence. Let's start with those things.
Are we just doing it on sketch paper?
No, no, draw it on watercolor paper because we'll
Oh,
paint.
okay.
Yeah, let's do it on
We're
paper.
doing the
You
entire
guys- What's that?
watercolor paper?
Yeah, what's that?
Or are we doing the entire width of the watercolor paper?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Yeah, and we're gonna kind of assess it. We'll kind of squeeze things in and out depending on what size. Mine's a little bit smaller. Yours might be bigger, right?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
actually looked at two. I was gonna get this piece of paper, which is 9 by 12, I think. And it felt too big to me. It's a little bit bigger. Here, I can see it better here. It's a little bit bigger, and I just didn't feel like going this big. And then I thought, I think I'll do an 8 by 10, which is a little bit smaller. But you can do either one. But we will be using the whole paper, whatever size you use. And we'll be kind of assessing the distances.
Should we tape it?
Yeah, let's tape it. Great idea. These could be nice paintings, you're right. That's a good idea. Let's tape it. It's also true you could tape the bigger piece smaller if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
That's what you're gonna do. I'm just gonna tape the very edge of my small. Did you guys get what he's asking?
So just tape the very, very edge.
Well, I'm taping the edge because mine's smaller. He's taping, his is bigger, his sheet is this size, so he might tape to here.
I see.
But this one, because it's small, I want to see, I got this new watercolor paper, I want to see how it works. It's very smooth, it's super hot press. So I'm taping mine to the edge. You could do either one. If your paper is bigger than an 8.5 by 11, you should tape it a little smaller. And if you're doing an 8 by 10, which I'm doing, then do it along the edge because you'll want as much as you can. Mine might look a little truncated. I'm okay with that. There. Yes.
I have,
Okay.
I have 9 by 12 and I already taped the edges. Is that all right?
You can do whatever you want, Donna. Absolutely. Did I say Donna? Sorry, Paula. Why did I call you Donna? I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
didn't even.
I'm sorry, my head's not in the game today, guys. I have no idea why. Oh, I know why. I just spoke to a woman named Donna right before I got off the phone to teach class. I'm like, why is that name in my head? Okay, right. Sorry about that, Bob. I do know who you are.
I know you do. Don't worry about that.
So you're going to place your horizon line a bit below. You want enough room for all this stuff, right? But it's still below the horizon line. It's still below. And even though his kind of slants up a little bit, I'm going to run mine straight across. So it's not halfway because I really won't have as much for room for husband's. I might bring it over. I might bring it down just a little bit because mine is smaller. I might bring my horizon line down a little bit. I want to make sure I have room for all this stuff, but I also want to make sure I have room for the sky too. And this road is not the vanishing point. Yeah, it really is there. In this case, the vanishing point isn't in the center of the paper. It's a little bit, let's see, how far over is it? Kind of off to the left here. It's not in the center. Center would be
Okay.
here, but it's not in the center. It's to the left of center. It's about here.
Can I send you mine? Just I can't figure out if I did this right.
Where the horizon line is?
Yeah. And where the
Sure.
where the left of the center is. Wait,
Yeah. Send it over. Absolutely. Or hold it up. Actually, I can see that if you just hold it up.
okay.
Pop it up. And I'll do it for both of you. It's exactly in the center.
Mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so to go to
You need
the
to
left.
move it absolutely. And in fact, it looks like it's a little bit to the right.
Okay.
Is that flipping? Oh, yeah.
Um,
No. It should be the other direction. It's way over
Oh.
here. You're here. See
yep,
that?
okay.
You're here.
Yeah.
You went
Huh.
the wrong direction. Okay, good. I'm not the only one whose head is not in there.
No, my
I'm
head's
still,
totally out of it.
I'm still out of it today. I don't know what it is. Jonathan, do you want to show me what
What
you
am I
got?
supposed to be showing now? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I thought you held something up and I
Oh.
wasn't at it. Okay, got it. Okay. All right. So it's going to be a bit over this way.
I'm holding something up now.
You're holding, there we are. Ooh, I like your tape. Hold on. That looks halfway to me. Am I
What?
wrong? Oh, no, it's not. I'm sorry. I didn't see the bottom. That was the issue. Here, yes, let me.
Can't even see.
Yeah, you really
It's so
can't see
light.
any. I would bring it down just a scooch,
Okay.
like a couple millimeters down, just so
Okay.
that you have enough room in the sky for all the fun things that are going to happen, tree branches, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Christina, what about you? You got it?
Hold on, gonna send it over.
Okay. Or you can hold it up if you want to, and I can take a look at it.
Oh, I taped it down to a board.
Oh, got it. Okay. Oh, yeah, so that it won't flop up. Good idea. Okay. Paula, how does that look? Does that look better?
think so, yeah. Let me show you.
Christina, you're almost exactly at the halfway point. You need to
Okay.
bring your horizon way down. You're up here. You need to come down here. Okay.
Okay.
And in terms of where your dot is, it's not bad actually. I accept where that dot is, but it's got to be lower, right? So you're gonna have to redraw your road lines. However, I want to credit you because if this was in the right location, this road would look exactly right. You have it. So it just needs to come down a little bit. And you did this too, which is great, right? You found where your road goes. This guy goes, look at the drama of this road is that it just goes so. It takes up so all this bottom space here. Good job. Christina, I can see you starting to click in. Don't worry about this struggle with sometimes things feeling like you have to think harder. It's good. It's really good. It means you're starting to move into that brain. It gets easier, a lot easier the longer you do it. And with occasional backslips, like tonight. Right?
More than occasional, I think.
The occasional backslip. Yeah, yeah. Actually, the very regular backslip. I often try to tell people the truth is you just as an artist have to be used to being wrong all the time. You guess where you think something's supposed to be, you put it down there, and then you really don't know until you put it down. Am I right or am I wrong? You can't really anticipate this. You have to lay it down and then look at it before you decide if you're right or wrong.
Just shifting it to the left a little bit made such a big difference. I don't know if you
Didn't
can see
it?
it.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can see it from there. Hold on, I
Let's-
want to add that up again. Can you push it up? You need to shift it more.
This way?
More. Yeah, more to the
Oh,
left.
more to the left?
More. Honey, look at it. Here's the middle.
Uh-huh.
Here's the middle. The road is to the left of the middle.
Okay, let me do it again.
So the thing that becomes hard, and this is what we're talking about, this is what Paula is talking about, and where, what we struggle with, is to assess how far something is away from center, right? Is to assess these differences. It's tricky. It's really hard. It's easy to exaggerate them. It's easy to not make them big enough. When you think you're here, I think we're going to add in this line. There's a little. Before we add in the tree or anything else. There. There are these things happening. Although maybe I want to put the tree in before I do those. I want you to notice here, I'm only sketching in the biggest branches on the tree right now. We can add in the others later.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think we want to add in, we're going to add in this kind of low swooping plane here. We're going to add that in first, and then we're going to put everything else in front of it. We'll put in our kind of back mountain plane there. So these lines that I have, and then yep. Everything's still going to that same vanishing. We have a row, we have fences. Even though the fence is a little less regular, you'll actually see here that the fence posts actually in this case, because this is an old beat up fence, the fence posts are a little bit more rickety. I'm going to send this over to you guys so you can take a look at it up close, because these are the next lines you're going to draw. Whoops, hold on. Can't do that from here. I'll put this right back up. I just want to get you a close-up view. There we go. So you have that now. Some of those basic lines. Here we are. So I'm going to come up here. Oh, I can do this. I have this cute little ruler. That's what I can do. Here is my line for my telephone pole. This one seems to tilt a little bit, this line. And then the telephone lines actually seem to go bend it down underneath like that. Here. Is my fence post. There's the bottom line. Here's my fence post, top and bottom line. And here is the very wonky fence post that I was laughing about that woman creating. It's right there. This is showing that it's kind of bending over. There's an area here with a white sign. You want to erase all the lines inside because this is going to stay white. Made my sign too big. We'll add in our tree, which will just kind of come in over these other lines. You see, I'm just bringing this over here. I'll erase those lines later. I'm finding myself using negative space a lot to create this tree. Definitely. And I'm not going to require you to exactly, if you want to change up this, if this tree is not exactly the same, I'm okay with that.
Whew.
Right? There's a few other lines in here we're gonna want to preserve. There's a lot going on in this road. Basically kind of tracing the lines around the white areas, because those are the ones we're gonna preserve. The rest we're gonna cover with paint. It's a very expressive painting. It's bold. I'll give you that. Oh, yeah. And then this. Let me send this over too, so you can look at it closer. And you guys take your time with this drawing. This may be all we do tonight. We may not start painting until next week or next time we're together. That is okay. There's a lot going on in this drawing. It's not exactly simple, but I like it because it kind of follows the rules of that simpler drawing that we practiced. These lines, these kind of center lines will all kind of head towards the center too, the vanishing point too.
Ooh.
Yeah, this drawing should take, I'm thinking will take us the rest of the session. We'll start painting next week. Get it for now. I'll send you over where mine is right now. If you can get. Are you sick, Paula?
I just have allergies. It's all right.
Yeah, it's that time of year, isn't it?
Yeah,
It sure is. And I know you've been sick, but you are better now, right? Like you haven't
definitely.
been able to recover.
Oh yeah, I've been going to work, no problem.
People must be freaking out in your business. I can't imagine.
It's gonna happen. It's
Right?
so many people depend on these services and they just I don't know what is gonna happen. It's very
Yeah.
scary.
It is very scary. Yeah, it's really scary.
We're already kind of trying to tighten the belt, and any hour that we go over, we have to justify in our time card. They never did that before. And
God.
some patients are very complicated. You can't just leave. There's so many issues you have to deal with. So I have to write a paragraph of justification almost every day. It's insane.
It is insane. It's absolutely insane.
But the craziest thing, you'll see these people. I have some affluent neighborhoods that I drive to, and I take care of patients there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of, like, this one guy, he was watching his Fox News and living in a mansion and applying for Medicaid for his mother, which he can afford Medicaid. He can afford medical care. And he's
Wow.
applying while he's watching his Fox News. And I'm like, does this guy not hear?
He's not going to, he's going to be pretty sadly disappointed.
Yeah.
Oh my word. God, it's crazy.
Total, I don't know. They don't understand. They don't want to understand, I guess.
I guess they don't.
Or they're just so brainwashed.
Yeah. Until it's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to
Yeah.
I was so
Like, is it
Okay.
going to take actually losing the services before people realize, like, oh, that was actually a good thing to have?
Right. I know.
Oh, my social security, I was living on that.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's starting to happen.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's starting to happen. I think people are starting to realize, oh shit, what did I do? What
You
what did I do?
you ever go on TikTok? There's this whole thing, FAFO, and it stands for fuck around and find out, where
Right.
people that voted for Trump say why they are sorry that they voted for Trump. Farmers that now, because they cut US aid and all the farm subsidies would come to them to
So
help.
you're telling me people will actually go to that thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Or they'll write about other people that they know that are being affected and are very sorry. Like Hispanic people that voted because they didn't think that they would be deported because
Right.
they deport the criminals. And meanwhile, the ICE is coming in.
Right. Oh
You know,
my God. Fuck around and find out.
yeah, FAFO. Go on TikTok and look up FAFO, and it is really interesting.
I think
F-A.
I think people are just have been so frustrated with the system. At least this is my theory for, I guess, the first and second elections, that they're just like, I don't kind of, yeah, like this sort of they cast this vote of like, fuck you, like a F you to the system sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah, like I'm so frustrated. I'm just going to kind of cast this very angry vote,
Vote.
frustrated,
Right.
without thinking about the consequences of the rhetoric and the policies. I don't know. That's my theory.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're sticking with it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that whole thing that happened with Zelensky, I was so depressed that day. I felt like crying. I never thought I'd see that in this country, that they're siding with Putin. I just can't believe it. My husband keeps saying he's a Russian asset. He's a Russian asset. Well, everything he's doing for Putin. I'm so scared. I don't know how this is
He-
going to end.
He's a Russian asset.
That's what my husband is convinced. They have something on him, and he's going to do what they say. And he thinks he's going to get.
He doesn't even, I don't even think they have to have anything on him.
No,
Happily do what they think,
that's
regardless, right? Like, he doesn't even have to,
right.
he's proud of himself. I don't know, of his big bad self. He's happy.
He's a tough guy. Meanwhile, the next day he was playing golf, and poor President Zelensky's back in the battle, in the war-torn country that he lives in. Just so
Yep.
sad.
Yep. That's the jackass he is.
Mhm. Did you hear what happened to Vance in Vermont?
Yeah, I heard he had to move to a secret location.
Those New Englanders, they are badasses. I love that for him. Oh, his
You know, though, I gotta be honest with you, Vance's behavior doesn't make sense to me. It
no,
actually doesn't,
not at all.
unless, I don't know. I have a secret theory that makes me feel better about all of this. I won't say it on I'll turn off the recording. I can tell you what I think. A friend of mine and I were talking about it, and I'm like, here, you know what? Let's do that.